Today, we're going to dive into the core ideas from Paul Smith's brilliant book, Lead with a Story. We're going to explore how you, as a leader, can step away from the spreadsheets and the data points and start forging a real human connection with your team. You know the feeling, right? You've spent weeks on a strategy. It's logical, it's airtight, it's backed by all the right numbers. You present it, and you get crickets, just blank stares. It's such a common frustration. And it happens because facts appeal to our logic, but they don't grab our hearts. They inform, but they rarely inspire. You know that classic story of the three bricklayers? When a traveler asks what they're doing, the first guy sighs and says, "I'm laying bricks." But the second guy, he looks up with a spark in his eye and says, "I'm building a grand cathedral." It's the exact same job, but a world of difference in perspective. And that, right there, gets to the heart of it. A leader's job isn't just to hand out bricks, it's to tell the story of the cathedral. And that brings us to what might be the most powerful and, honestly, the most forgotten tool a leader has: storytelling. And let's be clear, this isn't some fluffy, soft skill reserved for the marketing department. It is a fundamental, strategic tool that can completely transform how people see their own work. I love this quote because it makes such a crucial distinction. Sure, an algorithm can solve a simple problem, but leadership isn't about solving simple problems, is it? It's about navigating complex, messy, human dilemmas that don't have easy answers. And for that, you need a story to light the way. Okay, so let's get specific. Why is a good story so much more effective than a PowerPoint deck crammed with charts? Well, it all comes down to the way our brains are actually wired to process the world around us. Think about when you're setting a big, ambitious vision. Stories help you in three huge ways. First, they just grab attention. A story makes people lean in a way a bar chart just can't. Second, they make the vision feel personal, letting people see themselves as part of that future. And third, a great story makes that huge goal feel possible. It quiets that little voice of doubt and makes people believe. All right, so hopefully you're on board by now. But the big question is, how? How do you actually do this? Well, let's get practical and look at three powerful techniques from the book you can start using pretty much right away. Think of these as the three core tools for your leadership toolkit. Each one is a little different, but they all share the same goal: to bring your audience on a journey with you instead of just talking at them. This first one, the discovery journey, is so smart. Instead of just telling people the answer, you tell a story that leads them to figure it out on their own. There's a great example from Procter Gamble, where for 21 years, diaper sales and profits moved in perfect lockstep. Then, all of a sudden, they split. A presenter put the chart up and simply asked the room what happened. He let them discover the market had changed, so they own the conclusion and the need for a new strategy. Tool number 2 is the powerful metaphor. This is all about shortcuts. A good metaphor can deliver a complex idea in a single, unforgettable image. I mean, listen to that quote from CEO Scott Ford: "A tightrope walk over Niagara Falls." Wow. In one sentence, he didn't need a 20-slide deck. Everybody in that room instantly understood the risk, the stakes, and the intense focus required. That's efficiency. And our third tool is a game changer: using a story to challenge deeply held assumptions. The book tells of a consultant trying to convince a client not to launch a new product they were really excited about. Instead of arguing with data, he told them the story of an almost identical product that had failed spectacularly years earlier. That one simple story completely changed their perspective and saved them a fortune. Okay, so we've got our toolkit. We know the how. Now let's talk about the where. Let's look at how you can apply these stories to the real, tough challenges leaders face every single day. Trying to lead change? It's tough, especially when people are comfortable. You have to create a sense of urgency. Jack Welch at GE did this perfectly. He walked into a nuclear division that had these incredibly optimistic sales plans. He just looked at them and told them a story about the new market reality, ending with, "You won't get any more orders." It was a brutal reality check, but that story was what they needed to hear to finally pivot. And what about culture? You can write customers first in a policy manual 100 times, but a story makes it real. Like the CEO who told his managers to always park in the farthest spots so customers could have the best ones. One day, a massive storm hits, and he shows up to a meeting absolutely drenched because he did it himself. That image, that story, defined the culture more than any memo ever could. When it comes to pure motivation, nothing beats a story of perseverance. The tale of John Stephen Akwari, the Tanzanian marathoner at the 1968 Olympics, is legendary. He fell, got badly injured, and finished dead last, hours after the winner. When a reporter asked him why he didn't just quit, he said, "My country did not send me 5,000 miles to start the race. They sent me to finish it." That's a story that builds grit.
So we've seen the power, we have the tools, we've seen where to apply them. Now the conversation really turns to you. How do you start building your own library of leadership stories?
Well, the book lays out a simple 3-step process. First, find your stories. Look at your own career, the successes, and just as importantly, the failures. They're packed with lessons. Second, remember them. Don't just trust your memory. Create a simple log, a note on your phone, anything. And third, tell them. Start small. Weave them into your meetings, your emails, your everyday conversations. This quote from former P&G CEO Bob McDonald just nails it, doesn't it? Here's the thing. People are already telling stories about you and your leadership. That's a given. Your reputation is those stories. Intentional storytelling gives you the power to shape that narrative, to be the author of your own leadership story. At the end of the day, leadership is all about communication. And the most ancient, the most powerful form of human communication is the story. It's how we make sense of the world, how we connect with each other, and how we build a future together. So the real question isn't if you're a storyteller. As a leader, you already are. The question is, what story will you choose to tell?